He noticed the omission the way you notice a loose stair, after you've already stepped and your body adjusts before your mind does. The guest list sat open on the kitchen counter, half covered by a grocery receipt and a pen that didn't write anymore. His wife moved easily around it, efficient, cheerful, narrating timing and dishes as if this were just another logistical puzzle to solve. Her parents. Her sister. An uncle flying in. A neighbor who had nowhere else to go. No father. He waited longer than he needed to. Long enough to be sure it wasn't a mistake. "Hey," he said finally, keeping his voice neutral. "I didn't see my dad on here." She didn't look up right away. That pause told him more than the words that followed. "My parents don't want to share a table with a grease-smelling mechanic like him," she said, not cruelly, not kindly, just stating weather. "He reeks of motor oil and an old garage. It would make things uncomfortable." He nodded once. "I get it," he said. And he did. He understood the choreography of respectability. How class could be disguised as preference. How embarrassment learned to speak in reasonable tones. She relaxed immediately. The matter, she assumed, was closed. 10 minutes passed. In that time, he remembered sitting on an overturned bucket as a kid, watching his father rebuild an engine from parts that looked unsalvageable. The way his father washed his hands 3 times before dinner and still smelled faintly of work. The way customers trusted him because he fixed what he said he would and charged what he promised. That smell had paid for school clothes. For books. For the degree that now hung invisibly in every room he entered. He picked up his phone and stepped into the hallway. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't rehearse speeches. He made one call, then another. Short conversations. Polite ones. When he came back into the kitchen, his wife was arranging spices by size. "I'm heading out for a bit," he said. "For what?" "Just need to take care of something." Thanksgiving arrived with its usual pageantry, wine uncorked too early, football murmuring in the background, polite laughter that didn't quite land. Her parents arrived precisely on time, coats pristine, smiles practiced. They noticed the empty place setting. Her mother leaned in. "Is someone else joining us?" "Yes," he said. "My father." The room tilted slightly. Not enough to spill anything. Enough to be felt. "That wasn't," his wife began. "I know," he said quietly. Her father cleared his throat. "We thought this was settled." He met the man's eyes, calm, almost gentle. Plans changed. The doorbell rang. His father stood there in a clean flannel shirt, hands scrubbed raw, hair still damp from a rushed shower. He held a pie box like an offering. "Hope this is okay," he said, already apologizing for existing. "It is," his son said, and meant it without condition. What shifted wasn't immediate humiliation or confrontation. It was subtler. Conversation recalibrated. Seats adjusted. The father-in-law hesitated before making a joke, uncertain of the ground beneath him. Later, over turkey carved too thin, his wife's mother asked what his father did. "I run a shop," the older man said. "Been open 32 years. "Oh," she said, surprised despite herself. "You employ people." "A few," he said. "Good ones." What they didn't know, what he hadn't announced, was that earlier that week, he'd signed paperwork confirming a merger. His company now serviced fleets owned by people who recognized competence without perfume. His position made him, inconveniently, someone whose approval mattered. When dessert came, the tone had softened into something like recalculation. After dinner, his wife found him on the back porch. "You blindsided me," she said. He nodded. "I know. You could have told me." "I did," he said gently. 10 minutes earlier. She crossed her arms. "You embarrassed my parents." "I chose my father," he replied. Not defensively. Not proudly. Just stating fact. Inside, his father laughed at something on television, unaware of the social arithmetic that had just been redone around him. No one apologized that night. Not properly. Some things remained unresolved. They always would. But when his wife stood beside him and watched her parents say goodbye, polite, careful, less certain than before, she reached for his hand. Not in victory. In acknowledgement. And that was enough.